Hippo Digital Media.
Come on!
Broadcast Hippo Digital Media.
Morning.
Hi, guys.
Hey, y'all.
What's up, everybody? I can't see anybody. It's weird. You guys see me?
Yeah, we can see you. I can at
Clear,
least.
got you, bud.
So weird.
Where you now?
It's all right. We can do this the old-fashioned way without me seeing anybody. I got no problem with that. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. It is Friday, May 27th.
Friday.
May 27th, 2022, in the year of our Lord. Welcome to the show. It is the Cedar Point podcast. We got our friend Dave Chapman from Amusement Park Portal, and Dave doing double duty this week as our executive producer, filling in for Nicole, which we do appreciate, putting together an agenda for today. Thank you, Dave. We got Michael and Dylan. Donnie is on the road.
Always.
He says he's going to jump on here. He's on his way to the greatest place in the world, which would be Cedar Point. So you may be there. You know, we need Cedar.
He's on his way to Cedar Point?
Yes, he's on his way there right now. He's going for the whole weekend for the holiday.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
We're thinking about going Monday.
Are you? I was just going to ask you, Dave. You being the biggest expert here, Monday, the holiday. What does Memorial Day look like at Cedar Point normally?
Oh, they put streamers up and people come and visit. No.
Streamers?
Thanks, Dave.
You wish, Dave.
Celebration.
You know, crowd-wise, I guess.
Yeah, crowd-wise.
It could be different every year. I mean, it depends on a lot of variables. It depends on weather. You know, some years I've been there, it's been actually slammed. I mean, lines are 2 hours long, whatnot. Other years I've been there, and it's almost a ghost town. It's really weird.
Just to let you know, is Ian. First of all, I was saying morning to Ian Gall, who's in Sandusky. Will be in Sandusky this weekend. He says it's going to be 88 on Monday, and it's Bike Week in Sandusky. So that's
yeah, Bike Week is very busy time for that area.
Yeah.
Isn't Costa Mania coming up soon here as well? I think that happens during Bike Week.
I think you're right. I want to say it's next weekend. I think Bike Week's like a week long. But basically, for those who don't know, Bike Week, obviously, it's motorcycles, and they converge on Sandusky, and it's music and fun, and I'm sure a lot of them are going to spill over to Cedar Point, and so it should be a fun, interesting, crazy time in Sandusky this week. Ian says Bike Week's almost 2 weeks, so I think Ostermania is next weekend, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
Anyway, I hope everyone's going to make it. Like I said, Donnie's out there for the weekend. We need to get some Cedar Point podcast shirts made. We need to get Michael.
Man, I love that.
We're working on that logo, Michael.
I'm working on
it. All right.
By
the
way, slamming me right and left as of late.
No, I know. Life does that. Tends to do that. I get it. And Molly Hatchett's going to be performing at Bike Week this weekend, apparently. So
wait! A Molly Hatchet reunion show? Holy crap!
Wow!
I'm flirting with disaster.
Woo! Go get it, Dylan.
Oh, boy.
I'll wait till Foghat makes an appearance.
Actually, he's got a point on those guys. He's got a point. I've heard their music. They're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get back to Cedar Point. Actually, we're going out of town next week, going to California. So I'm not going to be able to make it this weekend or next weekend. But I got to get. We went out there opening weekend, and that's the only time I've been out there so far. Michael, I know you were. You work there. You work at Castaway Bay. But you.
Memorial Day, we are sold completely out. All 237 rooms taken.
Oh, wow. Donnie's there, so he must have snuck his way in.
He's one of them. And I got to tell you, I don't know what the hell I'm going to face on Monday when I walk in Monday night, but I'm going to get my butt whooped.
Hey, yes, you are. I hope you stock up on long nuggets, my friend.
I was just going to say, long nuggets.
Do not get me started.
So Michael, you went to you went to Cedar Point with your bride and your lovely bride, and you went to check out
You mean the
you went-
redheaded demon?
the redheaded demon. Yes,
The redheaded
redheaded
demon. Ha
demon.
ha ha.
that's her. You had a chance to check out the new restaurant that I've checked out. Mike, Dave's checked out. Nicole checked out. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Not impressed. Not impressed at all.
What did you
What
have?
was
My wife
what
got
was the kind of
she got the
what was the restaurant?
the one where the antique cars used to be. The brand new
Oh,
one.
that one.
Yeah, the brand
Okay.
new.
Yeah.
What did you have?
She had the steak, and the steak was perfectly done the way I like my steak. Still
Uh-huh.
mooing and screaming. I ended up getting that sausage, and that sausage done screwed up me up. That was
Oh,
way
that's
too
why
much
you didn't
spice
like
in it.
it.
Well, look, man, chorizo is not for every white person, my friend. Just because
love
it's on the menu.
chorizo, but this isn't chorizo. I absolutely love chorizo, but that
Uh-huh.
ain't freaking chorizo. That's like a freaking hot stick burning your ass up.
Now, Michael,
yeah,
is it a
that's not cool.
vegetarian sausage or is it just regular sausage?
They say it's a mix of chorizo and something else, but it's way too much spice in it.
Oh, come on!
And
Don't be a baby.
I know good chorizo because I get it even at Hasselbeck's in Fremont. That stuff's
Uh-huh.
really good. This doesn't even come close.
No. What about the side? What did you get for sides? So the steak was good.
We both got the smashed red potatoes and put some ranch on them. Oh my god, that was the best.
So what are you complaining about? 2 out of the 3 things are great. You just didn't like the chorizo. You shouldn't have got it.
Yeah, well, my wife was kind of begging me to get it so she could try it.
All right.
She had a little bite of it. Her being from Texas, she's like, absolutely not. There's no way.
But you're complaining about the meal. Really, most of the meal was good.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
depends
you're
on
complaining.
what you get.
Yeah, well,
To me,
I mean, that's anywhere.
Even when I walked in, I'm like, yeah, I'm really not impressed with this. Even when I walked in, it's like, yeah. I'm looking around like, yeah, this looks a lot like up front. It looked like a cookie. It looked a lot like they took Midway Market and turned it into the Wild West.
Yeah, I mean, there really. I mean, if we're being honest, there really isn't anything like standout-ish about it because it's it's. I mean, it's
Right.
very similar. Very similar to barbecue. What is it called?
Backbeat barbecue.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Backbeat.
It's very similar to that. Or
Well,
Back to
And you know, it's also they're using this throughout the chain. I notice a lot of them are that style of restaurant are popping up throughout the different parks in the chain. Like Kings
Yeah.
Island, for example, has the Coney Island barbecue,
Uh-huh.
and it's almost identical. You know, it has the 2 separate lines and the buffet kind of style. Where you go and you pick out what choices you want. I did have a chance to eat there over the weekend while we were at Kings Island for the Coaster Stock event, and it wasn't bad. It was pretty good, actually.
Well, sorry about that, you guys. Sorry. Yeah, no, I agree. And they're all going to cafeteria style too. Because I even noticed there was another restaurant that we went to that wasn't that way. And it was cafeteria style. I mean, I don't know what you call it. Is it cafeteria style where you kind of go through the line and pick what you want? I mean, to me, that's
you classify it as that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of what I call it.
Yeah.
They're kind of going to that a little more than the other ones. All right, let's talk fence watch. Dave, there's been some spotting within the walls over there where they took down the Wicked Twister, and there's the giant wall, and there's been some work spotted between the walls. What can you tell us?
Lots of action going on over there. A bunch of holes in the ground. There's some foundations being poured.
Yeah.
An interesting thing I noticed about these foundations is they're big square foundations. They're not like for a building, like a building, you could kind of see the outline of the building with the foundations. No,
Yeah.
These are like footer size foundations, like perhaps for a coaster. That's what they look like to me.
I was going to say, could it be
Stakes in the
another
ground.
coaster?
There are spray paint markings all over in that area, going all the way over towards close to Gatekeeper's entrance. And they're going all the way over near Wicked Twister, or not Wicked Twister, I'm sorry, Windseeker. They're going all the way over that way. They're all over that midway. There's spray paint markings everywhere. So I'm starting to lean towards a coaster for this area.
Dave, I'm with you for a couple reasons. Number one, they pulled out a coaster. I mean, Wicked Twister is considered a coaster. They pulled out a coaster. Top Thrill Dragster is in limbo. And when's the last time they've done a coaster? It's time.
Valraven, I believe, was the last one.
How many years ago?
Yeah, Valraven 2016.
5. Yeah. About 5 years.
So it's been 5 years. It is time for a coaster, and obviously, I mean, I don't think it's going to get done this year, but I bet you for next year, I bet you it's going to be a coaster.
And the fact we're starting on it this early just says it must be a pretty intense program or something that they're building, because I mean, I don't know if it's going to be, I've heard wooden coaster, and I've also heard something about, I don't know if you're familiar with Knott's Berry Farm or not, but they have that whole boardwalk section at Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah.
It has like that, the dive coaster, or whatever you want to call it. I can't think of the name of it. But they have that there, and they have the whole boardwalk thing going on, which would fit in perfectly at Cedar Point in that area, being that it's right on the water. It would make sense.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you're onto something. Obviously, you're the expert here. I think you are onto something. But I think it's going to be a coaster. I think it's got to be a coaster. Like I said, it's been so long since they've had a coaster. Look what the cat dragged in.
Well.
Hey, it's Nicole. What's up, doll?
I'm up, unfortunately.
Nicole, our executive producer, has joined us. She wasn't even supposed to be on the show this week because she's did you go on vacation, or what did you do, Nicole?
Yeah, we were out of town for a wedding and then did some vacation-y things. So just got home early this morning. So
oh wow. Well thank you so much for coming on with us. Just to let you guys know, next week you guys are gonna have to do it without me. Because I will be on vacation. We're going to California, leaving on Wednesday. And hopefully we want to make it to Knott's Berry Farm. You know, as a kid growing up in California, Knott's Berry Farm was one of my faves. So we'd like to make it over there. We only have a handful of days in Southern California and a handful of days in Northern California, but I would like to make it.
Little part. Well, I shouldn't say little, but it's
you
nice
can
park.
check out anytime you like, but you can never leave, Andrew.
No, I know.
Come on, Dylan. Come on, man.
I'll try to check in with you guys, but now I want to. As we're talking about coaster, we're talking about Nicole. We're talking about the movement and the building that we're seeing over by where Wicked Twister was, and our thoughts are we think it's going to be a coaster for 2023. Just because they haven't done a coaster in 5 or 6 years. Wicked Twister is down. The influx of Top Thrill Dragster. It's time to put a coaster in there. And Dave says there's a lot of little pourings of concrete. There's a lot of red marks where things are going to be. And his thought is coaster. Ian says he hopes it's a coaster. He says he thinks it's going to be a family activity with beach themed activities, assuming a brewery, restaurant, kids beach themed activities, but he's just assuming. And I'm with you, Dave. They're really missing the boat if they don't make it some
Whatever
sort
you want to call it, I can't think of the name of it.
some sort of beach themed. They're really missing the boat of not incorporating.
Well, like I mentioned, the coaster at Knott's Berry Farm is like beach themed. That whole area is like beach themed. So I mean, that would be like the perfect concept, perfect theme for that area being on the beach. You know, so
yeah, like Coney Island.
Yeah, exactly.
A wooden coaster, a Coney Island.
See, I've heard a lot of the word wooden. Yeah, I can't even talk this morning. I don't know. I got frog in my throat or something. But I've heard wooden coaster thrown around. But at the same time, I started thinking, I'm like, God, by throwing a wooden coaster there, you're blocking the views of the beach.
Oh, yeah.
And the wooden coaster would take up that whole area, and that would be all you would get out of that area. You know, but if you were to build one of those coasters like Knott's has with the beach theme, I'm trying to think of the type of coaster that is. But if you were to build it, you would still have room for other attractions, and you'd still be able to see the beach, you know. So that's what I'm kind of leaning towards that. But hey, I could be wrong.
No, but it's going to be a T-Rex type coaster.
That's another possibility. It could be one of the T-Rex coasters, you know, which they could easily theme to have a beach theme, or, you know, paint it blue and white or something, you know.
Yeah, so Cedar Point reclaims its title to having a tallest coaster in the world again.
They could have the tallest type of that coaster, which I think right now Magic Mountain's building the tallest version of it, which is scheduled to open sometime this year. But currently, Six Flags New Jersey has the tallest version, I believe, but Jersey Devil it's called. Of the
what is a T-Rex coaster?
That's RMC, our good friends from Rocky Mountain Coaster that did Steel Vengeance. Instead of a standard like coaster track where you have two tracks, essentially, you have one single rail, and the coaster and the seats, you don't sit side by side, they're individual seating.
Oh.
So yeah,
cool.
So you're sitting. It's a fast coaster. If you ever get a chance to watch a POV of one of them on YouTube or something, it's an amazing.
And they can make them 500 footers too. You go up the lift hill, 500 foot, and drop.
The tallest at this point is like 200 that they've gone. If I'd have to look at that, but yeah, I don't know about 500. I don't know if there'd be enough room for a lift hill that goes up 500 feet over in that area.
But so. What do you think about a traditional log ride? We don't have one of those anymore. I know. I'd love.
I kind of wish too. Actually, looking back on my younger years.
Right? Is it old school? But I love a log ride. I just do, and we of course had one at one point, but not now. I think it would be cool to bring one back.
I agree. They are really lacking that log ride at the park. I mean. Every park should have a log ride. We were at Kings Island this weekend, and the log ride had a crazy long line. I mean, it was in demand. People want to ride them.
Yeah.
And I always thought a good idea with the log ride would be to incorporate, because everybody's saying dark ride. They want a dark ride, a log ride. Incorporate the two together. Have a log, have runs on it, have a big indoor section with targets and all that, and then have your log flume drop at the end. And
if you look,
I like that idea.
Yeah, you look a Splash Mountain at Disney. I mean, it's an indoor ride. It could be a dark ride. It's not really a dark ride because they have scenes or whatever. But you could easily be something like that where you go in and it's dark and you can't see the. My favorite dark ride, I think. Well, when I was a kid, was I like Pirates of the Caribbean just because you can't. There's like 2 or 3 dumps. They dump you down and you can't see any of them. So I love the Pirates.
One, Andrew. It's just the one.
Don't they? Isn't there one?
It's just that one. As soon as you go, they drop you down and you go right through. The rest of it's pretty much a lazy river type deal.
Okay, I thought there was a couple.
That would probably be the Frozen one over at Norway. That's a couple.
Oh,
Frozen goes backwards.
Yeah,
Frozen.
There's a drop, and actually, you get up to the Yeti, it sends you backwards too.
I like that. Is cool. That's
Expedition Everest. So that's a different one. That's not the water ride.
Expedition Everest, I will not ride.
Why?
It's a good one.
I love that one. Oh, too scary.
Why, Nicole? Scared of the Yeti, or what's the problem?
No. I'm too much of a wimp when it comes to roller coasters. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, all right. So let's. By the way, Nicole, you look amazing for just being up so late and coming in. And
yeah,
I was at a concert last night, so my voice is a little.
Who did you see?
My favorite. So I'm a child of the '90s.
And who's that?
Let's see who can guess.
I'm a child of the '90s, so I know quite a few.
I'm a girl. I went to college in the '90s.
Salt and
Pepper.
Pepper.
No one will get that.
It's got to be a boy band.
Oh
no, Tori Amos.
Tori Amos.
Wow.
Did she do What If God Was One of Us? Is that Tori Amos?
No.
She had another
friggin' Austin Power. What are the Austin Powers movies?
No, Tori did a song called God. Yes, but not that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was the show?
Amazing. I saw her 2 nights in a row. So.
Oh wow!
You lucky dog, you.
I know.
I would be following her around the country if I could, but.
Well, all you got to do is you start selling Tori Amos T-shirts in the parking lot and just go.
No, I was talking to the merch guys last night. Don't even pretend like I wasn't. So.
All right, let's do.
Wasn't the one she did Cornflake Girl?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's her.
I knew I
Dylan.
loved you,
Like girl.
Dylan. I knew I loved you, Dylan.
I had to think about it for a minute.
No, you
But I-
got it. Wow.
Yeah.
I thought I don't even I know Tori Amos. I don't even think I could even name or sing one of her songs.
That's all right.
I couldn't either.
She's only for us special ones.
I apparently
Only for
I've
girls
heard-
of the
I-
'90s, right?
girls
I've
of
heard
the
her music. I couldn't place her either.
No, right. All right, let's talk about the recap of coaster stock that went down at Kings Island. How did it compare to Coaster Mania? What do you guys think?
I spent both days there
Uh-huh.
down at Kings Island. Amazing, absolutely amazing. I was thoroughly impressed with what they did with the event. They limited the number of people to the event. He said even after it sold out, they still had over 10,000 requests for tickets for the event. You know, it sold out in just a few minutes.
Wow.
And comparing it to Coaster Mania, I'm sorry, Coaster Mania.
Not close.
Hate to say it, I love Cedar Point, but
Yeah,
the Coaster
exactly.
Mania event is just embarrassing compared to this. This was just
I
the
still have never
ultimate-
gone to Coaster Mania. Like
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but
Why do you
Yeah.
say Dave, or what could they do, or what's
Well, just the amount of activity. I mean, there's 2 days opposed to just the one.
Uh-huh.
There are so many behind the scenes tours and activities. The food was amazing that they gave us. I mean, they have an executive chef there, you know, in the park. And he cooked up a special menu for us for our luncheon one of the days. The behind the scenes tour, we did behind the scenes of the Beast, Orion or Ryan, however you want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
The Racer coaster, we did Banshee. I mean, we had a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. Diamondback. ERT was just off the hook. They had so much ERT exclusive ride time.
Mhm.
The Beast at night, both nights, which was just a walk on for us because they limited the amount of people. Which is running awesome, by the way, since they did all that track work. And just the people, Don, if I'm saying his name nice, excuse me if I butcher his last name, Hallberg, I can't pronounce it correctly, that puts on the event. Just awesome guy, real nice guy. It's his baby, you know, to put this event on, and he did a really good job. And wow, I like I said, I walked away impressed. And also worth noting too, here I'm babbling, but he mentioned they had guest speakers up there, and the executive chef that I was talking about mentioned that the new burgers at Cedar Point, like I believe he said that the Coasters dine in at Cedar Point, are his recipe that they tried out at Kings Island a year or two ago and have been very popular. So Cedar Point is copying that recipe and putting it into the coaster.
I'm interested to try that. The other thing, Dave, that's kind of interesting is I said it earlier that they're kind of like, seems like all the restaurants are going cafeteria style. The diner right there was when we walked in. That was one thing. It's like pick a burger, pick French fries or onion rings or whatever. You walk down the line, cafeteria style. It's like it seems like they're kind of going to that with their restaurants. All right, we got a very special guest. Our co-host Donnie P is on the road. He's got his guns out, guns ablazing.
Sun's out, guns out, baby.
That's right. What's it like down there in Sandusky?
Oh my gosh, we are not quite there yet, but the sun is out. We are probably like a half hour out still.
Can't see Donnie.
We are super pumped, guys. How excited are you back there?
better than the weather yesterday. The weather yesterday was not good.
Oh, well, you picked a great weather day to start your trip because it's beautiful today.
Heck yeah. And it did say it might rain out there, but as I mentioned before, that's kind of like my secret or our secret is if it is going to rain a few times, maybe it'll keep the bigger crowds away. Who knows? Excited to get on some rides. Do you want to go around and see what everyone's excited to ride?
Yes.
All right, I'm excited. Gatekeeper, guys in the back, one at a time.
Gatekeeper, I heard.
Girls, what are you excited to ride? The Valerie,
Gemini.
the Gemini, FIFA. The Beatles.
Okay, Valray.
I'm excited to ride exactly 0 rides. I go for the beer and food.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. Ashley, what food are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to trying the new restaurant, or is there a fake restaurant you want to get back to, or what are you thinking?
I'm excited to try the new restaurant. Yeah, I just told Donnie, I'm like, I don't want to wait for 2 hours for food because then I start to change and be a different person when I'm hangry. But I'm excited to try it.
Sounds like my wife.
Hey, Michael recommends the sausage there.
Like that guy do.
Yeah, right.
We were just Michael just complaining he can't handle the chorizo there, so he wasn't impressed.
Mike, are you working this weekend?
No, I'm off this weekend. I'll be there. I'll be back on Monday at Castaway.
All right, we check out on Monday, so I'm gonna come find you before we leave.
Actually, I come in at 4.
Okay.
Oh man.
Never mind.
you even missed late checkout with that.
Yeah.
Awesome, you guys. Well, enjoy your vacation, you guys. You deserve it. Have fun. Love you guys.
Enjoy it, guys.
Bye.
Love you too.
There it is. Donnie P checking in. Make sure you look for him and his guns out at Cedar Point this weekend. They will be out all weekend.
The guns are blazing.
Absolutely. So, for those that have gone, already this year, have you experienced it being cashless? Has it been an issue? Has it not been an issue? I don't remember us ever spending a lot of cash anyway.
Well,
So-
I always use my card. I never carry cash with me unless someone gives me cash for whatever reason. But
Yeah.
I will mention this: Kings
Unless you're
Island's
working
cashless
extra
as
shifts.
well. Yeah, Kings Island's cashless as well, and they have the machines. They have a couple right there at the entrance, and there's a lot of school groups there. And the lines for these machines were pretty lengthy. And it's not a very quick process to do cash to card. I mean, you got to put the cash in and this and that, you got to, of course, people have issues with it, trying to figure it out. So, I mean, it's not very friendly if you're in a hurry. So that's my concern about it. I love the concept, but that's my concern is that.
Well, I was talking to somebody, and I think the reason it makes sense for the parks is because it cuts down on theft. If your card, you can't steal a card. Cash you can easily put in your pocket. It's the same concept at festivals. How they have people, you have to buy tickets because they're trying to limit the amount of places where cash is exchanged, and you have you're more trustworthy. You have 3 or 4 instead of having 50 people you have to trust.
Well, not just that, but obviously with COVID and everything, handling money, and then plus it's a lot of extra labor and time to deal with money, collect it from every location, count it, band it, all that all takes labor,
Yeah, good point.
and time.
Yeah, it does.
So I think they probably need a few more spots, though. Some people were giving them kudos, though, because at least they're not charging you a fee to take your money from cash to the credit, which they could, knowing Cedar Point, they could do that.
Well, here's a caveat with that, though. You can use the card outside the park.
Right.
You can use it anywhere. It's just like a regular Visa or MasterCard, whatever it is.
It's a regular.
You can
It's
use
just
it
like a
any
regular
location.
prepaid card.
However, after a certain amount of days, 30, 60, 90 days, whatever it may be, they do start charging a fee on there.
Yeah.
So if you don't use your money up, within a certain time frame, they do start tacking on a fee.
It's kind of one of those prepaid. It's like a prepaid credit card,
Exactly.
which do the same thing. Most of them do the same thing. Even gift cards. If you don't use the gift card within a certain amount of 30, 60, 90 days, 6 months, whatever it is, then they start to deduct as well some of the money. So it's very similar to a prepay or a gift card in that manner. But I think too. With people, I'll give you a second, Nicole, just real quick. But with people trying to use it for the first time, I think maybe a little more of the season, maybe season 2, the line won't be as long because everyone will know how to do it. The first time you're like, what is this? I don't understand. I got to read the directions. Yeah. It's probably taking them a little longer, Dave. Go ahead, Nicole. What were you going to say?
What about the poor fish? All the carp?
I know.
If you don't have any cash, you can't feed the fish. So
I
this
know.
has been on all the fan pages.
Apparently, they'll still take coins.
Those still take coins, so make sure you have your coins.
It's
a quarter a turn on those feeder machines.
What's that?
You got a bunch. It's a quarter a turn on those feeder machines. You got a bunch of quarters. Hell, put them in.
Speaking Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying that there's a reason to, if you like feeding the fish, and my kids do like it, you want to make sure, even though it's cashless, you do want to bring in some quarters still, because I'm guessing it's going to be hard to get change once you get in the park. So you might want to bring your quarters with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Go get
ironically,
a roll of quarters and do it.
Right. Go ahead, Dave.
Ironically, they still have ATMs in the park, which is, I'm kind of scratching my head on that one. I mean,
You can move it to a card.
yeah.
So, did you guys, speaking of cashless? Oh, go ahead.
Basically, it's for them to get the money out so you can put it on an actual cash, one of those their cards.
You need a card to get money out of an ATM. That's kind of redundant then, because you can just use your
In
card.
a way, yes, but also in a way, no, because some people do forget to bring some money with them to put on their cards. So it's almost
Right. But what I'm saying is, when you go to
redundant
an ATM, you have to use your debit card to get money out of the ATM. When you could just use your debit card at every food stand and that in the park anyway.
That's true. Yeah. Go ahead, Nicole. What were you going to say?
So, you guys, did you hear about, like, so being cashless? Did you hear about the person that was at Disney and dropped their Apple Watch on what was it, Nemo? Well, Little Mermaid ride.
Yeah.
They dropped their watch, and they saw it fall, and they went to get it, and they got chastised for getting out of the shell to get it, and they so all of the staff, they told the staff were like, okay, we're gonna get it. Well, they didn't get it back for a long time, and they had I guess probably like a black Amex on there, and by the time they got it back, there was $40,000 in charges.
Oh, geez.
For that card on that watch.
What did the crew have a great day at the mall or something? What
Who
happened?
knows? I don't know if they know yet what happened. I just heard it briefly, but man, that's the risk of cashless, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you have Apple Pay or Google Pay or any of that, like, it's very easy to use those without any kind of verification, and so
right. And
Well,
they
see, like
I
I got it on my watch. I can pay, just tap, but I still have to put in my code or fingerprint, or there is a verification.
Yeah.
Before.
But that's optional. But you can do it without that.
Oh. So I would recommend people to make sure they set that up, because I don't have that set up to where I think someone got my watch. They could could go crazy because I don't have the additional authentication. Like, you have to either put a code in or something. But if you just go straight through, then when they get your watch.
Well, I don't have $40,000 in my account, so I ain't got to worry about that.
But it was a card, Dave. It was a card. So it was their, like Amex used to be, you can get a credit card now, but their cards were unlimited. You just had to pay it off every month.
Okay.
So and it was an elite Amex of some sort. So
man,
40 grand. Could you imagine?
Jeez, that's rough.
That almost costs as much as their vacation to Disney.
Almost, not quite.
Oh my God, whatever.
It's ridiculous. Oh, we even I think we talked about this, but we're going to California next week. But even just to go to Disneyland, we had to forego it. I mean, we're doing an inexpensive trip, and just the tickets for the family for a 2-day pass was like $2,200. I mean, that's our plane reservations were $2,200. So, and there's just so much free stuff or inexpensive stuff still to do in California. You go see the Hollywood sign. You go see Hollywood. They've never been there, so you can do so much of the free touristy stuff. It just didn't make sense to spend $2,200 on a pair of on tickets for 2 days to Disney. It's just, and that's just the ticket. What other money grabs you got once you walk in the door? It's just
food. I mean, just to eat for the day,
right?
To feed your family for a day is
and that's Disneyland, which I used to go to as a kid all the time. Disney World's worse because they own 100 acres around it, so it's all it's all them. It's a whole money grab. it's a whole money grab for them. All right.
They've been getting a lot of flack for this lately.
I know.
Rumors are raising rates again.
This is the first time I'm hearing some pushback by people, articles being written, social media complaining about it. At some point, but here's the thing: is like their numbers have doubled in the last year.
Yes, they have, but they're starting to fizzle out. And here's the thing: you had all those pent up vacations that people booked before COVID. Right. So they're
Yeah.
making all those up. And in addition, you had their 50th anniversary. So you're combining the two, and that's why they're busy. And right now, I can tell you this: crowd levels are leveling off. They're going down. There's been a few days this last week where attractions were a walk on at the Magic
Oh,
Kingdom.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, and I think maybe then we've come to a point where it's just too much for a family. Like, an average family can't go to Disney anymore. You just can't.
Well,
No.
I'll tell you, we just our tickets and our hotel for my family. We got a family of 5 here. For this doesn't include food or anything else. Just hotel and tickets to get into the park cost us over $6,000.
Well, in 4 years ago was the last time that we went. We did the meal plan. They still did the meal plans before COVID. There was the meal plan, the hotel, everything. It was, and we drove, and it was a $12,000 experience for 7 people. Do all the and we were staying at like the low end hotel, the one with all the characters there, the Nemo Hotel or whatever. So it was
art animation, yeah.
Yeah, it was a motel. I mean, and it was $12,000. So I mean, most people can't afford $12,000. We couldn't afford it. We figured it out, but it's crazy. The average family is priced out of Disney now. It really is.
Oh, I also wanted to mention an interesting thing Kings Island's doing, since it's their 50th as well. They're doing a fireworks dessert party. They had the nightly fireworks at the park at closing every week. And a lot of chatter on this online because, Cedar Point's kind of doing their Frontier Festival thing, where the back of the park. Well, they're doing it. It has a minimum of 4 people to $75 a ticket. And that gets you in an international restaurant above the main entrance to watch the fireworks show, and you get like a dessert spread of some kind. That sounds cool. Yeah. And there's been a lot of people saying, well, how come Cedar Point doesn't do something like this?
I know.
Yeah.
That's a very Disney thing too, where at Disney, if you eat at a certain restaurant, you get preferred seating for whatever the evening show is, whether it's fireworks or whatever.
Yeah.
We did that, made the reservation at the Cinderella's Castle right at the firework time, and that was pretty cool. I have to admit that was pretty cool. Real quick, our good friends and honorary members of the show, Cedar couple. They're very fancy. Apparently, they Brady mentioned it to us yesterday, and I was looking for the messages here. Oh, here we go. Caitlin and I were invited for a Frontier Fest sneak peek. It would be day before yesterday, Wednesday, a trial run with the food and the actors. They had the Maverick and the Skyhawk running for them too. They got to ride Maverick solo 5 times in a row. There were only 20 people. There were only 20 people at the media event. They said it was super last minute that Tony Clark had emailed them at 3:30 on Tuesday asking if they could be there Wednesday at 11. He said it's the best email they ever received. They talked a little bit about the fence watch. He didn't give us any information about that, but how cool of an experience is that to our very own Cedar couple?
Very cool.
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
Right? It was very cool. I know, right? All right, final things before we get to Coaster of the Week. Anyone got anything else that we didn't get to, Nicole?
Ian's asking a question on the chat there. Do you guys know if military and first responders days are coming back? Anybody heard anything about that?
I haven't heard anything about those yet, but if I do, I'll post up in the group to be sure.
Okay.
Yeah, don't they offer a military discount all year, or is that?
I think
they do, but they used to do it for free.
Thing.
They do a discount ticket, but it's usually, or they do events that are free. So,
right. Free. Yeah. He was saying that generally Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, veterans and first responders would get in free, and also the first Monday of the month as well, that they haven't done it since the beginning of COVID in 2019, and they haven't brought it back yet, which is very interesting. Wow. Yeah. I didn't know that. So yeah, we don't know the answer, Ian, but they say they do have the discounted ticket, which is $45 for veterans. Man, Ian, why don't you jump on the show? What are you doing?
But $45 is the same price as the online ticket ahead of time. That's not any kind of incentive for military. That anybody can get that price. So See, okay, so that's insulting, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, don't tell me you're giving me a discount when you're
Right.
You're not giving me a discount.
Everyone else can
Yeah,
get.
definitely.
It's not a.
And
Yeah.
maybe they can also access that price at the gate, but I mean, I would say that most people are getting their tickets ahead of time, so everybody has access to that $45 cost. So
I agree.
I agree with Ian. Like, well, of course I don't run Cedar Point, but I'm all for providing
My
special incentives for military.
worry is, and I love Cedar Point. It passes everything. My worry is that, like you said, Dave, they're doing things different at Kings Island. They're doing things different in Osprey Farm. They're doing different other music parks. It's just Cedar Point isn't picking the stuff up quick enough, and when they do it, it doesn't seem like they're all in. It just seems it seems like it's falling short. They're not all in. They're not.
Kind of going through the cycles of doing it. Yeah.
Going through the motion. Yes, going through the motions type thing instead of making a big deal and having fun with it. And just, I don't
being right on top of it.
Yeah. I just get the vibe. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I just get the vibe. Go ahead, Nicole.
So what I was going to ask Dave is, do you, just with your experience in the community for so long, do you think that Cedar Point just feels like we're such an attraction on its own, we don't need to do these extra things that might enhance the experience because we've already got the best product out there, so why do we need to do this other stuff?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think that is the case. There's such a big park. There's such a draw. They are the crown jewel of the Cedar Fair chain. I think they probably feel it's not necessary to do too many events because they don't need to. The people are going to come either way.
Well, that bugs me. Like, okay, there's a you look at I'm trying to think of the shitty football team.
The Lions?
The Lions, Detroit Lions.
Let's start with the Cubs. Let's go Cubs. The Cubs. There's been years. There's been time in the past where the Cubs just don't care. They're not going to put a lot of money in because you're going to come no matter what. They just don't put the effort in. They don't have to buy your loyalty. You're just going to come, and they take it. It's almost like they take advantage of their loyal fans, and I feel that there's some of that going on with Cedar Point. They know you're going to come. They don't have to jump. They don't have to do backflips. You're going to show up anyway. So why would we break our back to a backflip when you're going to come anyway? And I feel that there's some of that.
So, but what I like with Dave talking about Kings Island, I can't wait to get to Kings Island. Like just the things that he's saying, and this is the same organization. So it's like I miss that energy of yes, our coaster our coaster stock. You're going to learn there's not one behind the scene option. There's 5. Like that's how I feel like that's how you. So yes, everybody wants to come to Cedar Point if they are a roller coaster rider because it is kind of a mecca. But do you want to create a lifetime fan? Do you want people to come from California, from New York, to make these big trips every year because they do events that, reward you for being a loyal customer, I guess is the word.
Interesting too, Nicole. This is the first year that I can recall that the Coaster Mania event did not sell out.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, you talk about early signs with Disney about how the way it's starting to wane. You got to catch stuff early, and like you said, everyone says the attendance is doubled and blah blah blah. But Dave's like, there's cracks in the foundation, and something like that. Hey, it's not selling out. Little things like that are cracks in the foundation that if you're smart business, you need to at least you can't discount. You need to at least. You can't ignore them because it would be to your own detriment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just amazing. I know it's Kings Island's 50th, so that may be part of it too. While they're having so many, I mean, they're having their fireworks show and they're having drones go up too. Like I think they said there's a couple hundred drones going up in the air during this fireworks show. They're doing all kinds of things. I mean, that's pretty cool, Well,
sometimes that just takes, it really could be a small handful of just go-getters on your staff. Like even 2 or 3 at your mid-level staff. They're like, all right, let's take things to the next level. And almost like Cedar Point doesn't have the ones with all the ones that kind of maybe annoy you because they come up with too many ideas, but there's some good ideas in there, and it doesn't seem
Well, they
like
still do have events. I mean, they're doing that sunflower thing. I believe comes up pretty soon here. The Frontier
Yeah,
Festival.
they're doing the Frontier, yeah, all that.
this is now we're
They're doing
talking
the
about it.
parade again.
Now we're talking about no, yeah, they're doing it. It's like it's not like, oh my god, this sunflowers are coming. It's not just that big. That's all I'm saying.
The one caveat to this is that Coaster Con is Cedar Point this year and another park, but so perhaps that's why, and maybe that might be kind of the company line this year of Coaster Con's here, they're competing events.
Yeah.
So
I thought that too, and that is the case a little bit, but hanging out with some enthusiasts, a lot of enthusiasts this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I did hear the notion, kind of people mentioning that it's just not that great of an event. I heard that thrown around a few times. So I don't know. I mean, Coaster Con could be part of it, which I think it is. But at the same time, is the event, I think, is just kind of lackluster now. It's not what it used to be, especially for people that have been going to the event for years. They know what it used to be. And, now it's open to the public, so it's just kind of.
You talk about hanging around with enthusiasts, Dave. Do you get any type of vibe that we're talking about right now from any of them regarding Cedar Point, or is it just us right now?
No, I am getting a few vibes, from people. Just kind of they love the park. They still love the park, but they're just not happy with some of the decisions they've been making, for whatever reason it may be. But I do hear that a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll be at Coaster Mania next Friday.
Yeah,
so
please talk to Tony Clark and let him know our let him know our thoughts as a collective, Nicole. Because I'm sure that.
But I'm a first timer, so I'm probably going to be like excited. You know what I mean? I'm going to be.
You'll have fun if you've never been to it. Yeah, you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
But I'll read the room. I'll chat with some folks.
You're good at that. All right, coaster of the week, Dave.
Woodstock Express. I'm running out of coasters here, guys.
I know.
Yeah. I was thinking, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Message us on here. Do you think you want to see the rest of the rides at Cedar Point, like the spinning rides, or do you want me to go to coasters from other Cedar Fair parks?
Oh, both. Maybe a little of both, Dave.
Coasters from other parks.
Yeah, but I like hearing about the other rides at the park. It should be ride of the week instead of coaster of the week. Let's change it to ride of the week. And then it can be you can do Cedar Point, you can do other parks if you want to as well. I think it should be ride of the week, and you just pick one that you're feeling passionate about this week, whether it's Cedar Point or not.
I have a whole plethora of rides I could choose from. Then,
Yeah, that opens up your options there.
Yeah, open it up a little bit.
Dave
well, and it's nice
is the
too.
ride guru, so we trust whatever your guru senses are giving you for the week. Just go with it.
We trust them.
Well, yeah.
All right, Dave, ride of the week. What do you got?
We got Woodstock Express this week, which opened in 1999, 1 year before Millennium Force opened. And there's not really a whole lot interesting about this ride, except for it's a kid's ride. I mean,
isn't it a
fun
kid's
for the
ride?
kids? That first drop on that ride is actually quite intense. I don't know if you've ever been on it. It's got that like swooping turn, kind of.
I think it's a great starter coaster. I mean, really, for a small coaster, it's a decent one. Like, because you go to some festivals or something, where the 3 teeth people at the carnivals and stuff, they don't have the starter coaster like that. It kind of just goes around. It's got two little things and it goes in a circle. This is a nice little coaster for a starter, I think.
It is.
Now,
a perfect
is Josie
coaster.
big enough yet for Woodstock, Andrew?
Colin, can Josie go on the Woodstock Express? Yeah, she is. Oh, she's big enough for Woodstock. She's gone on it. Yeah, she loves it.
An interesting thing about it too, it's one of the few. I think it's the only coaster in the park that has drive wheels for the lift hill, which instead of like a traditional chain lift, it's got those little wheels turning, and there's like a fin on the bottom of the car. Those wheels grab onto and push it up.
Oh,
and that's why if the sky starts spitting at all, I mean, you get a drop of rain, they have to shut it down because the water. prohibits the wheels from doing their thing.
Right.
So, grip it onto the car and that. So that's why it closes a lot when it rains or sprinkles. And they have to wait for the wheels to dry, before they can run the ride.
Wasn't that known as Junior Gemini at some point?
What's that?
Yeah.
Wasn't that known as Junior Gemini at some point?
No. Junior Gemini is now it's called the oh God, why can't I think of this? Oh gosh, help me out here, guys.
Because we're getting old, Dave. We're getting old.
Yeah, it's the I'm looking it up right now. Hold on.
Me too.
Wilderness Run. That's it. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I didn't.
I get that confused all the time.
Wilderness Run, which used to be
Wilderness Run. I didn't even know they changed the name.
Yeah, they changed it a few years ago when they did that whole Camp Snoopy they did. Pipe Scream and all that went in. They did all that. But
you're too worried about getting on Raptor, Dylan.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You're too worried about getting on the loudest coaster in the freaking park.
So, side note, we talk about underrated rides last week. Some underrated rides. Pipe Scream is an underrated ride. I like that ride. It's a decent ride. Oh yeah, it's a decent ride. It spins and it's moving back and forth. I like that ride. It gives me a good little thrill.
Here's what throwback. Do you remember what used to be in that area before Pipe Scream and all that came along? Anybody remember? We were talking about this the other day. The Himalaya ride used to be right there, right next to Junior Gemini at the time. And there used to be a couple umbrella rides there as well. Those little Hampton, cars that go in circles.
The kiddie.
Then they had a frog hopper, and they actually had a kiddie bumper boat ride right
I
there,
remember
too.
the frog hopper.
Yeah.
The frog hopper's still
be in that
there. It's
area.
just in Kiddie World. Hey, one more thing that we didn't mention is Bike Week is coming up. I'm not a bike person, so I don't really know what that means. But
Ian said Molly Hatchet's performing, Nicole. If you need to get your Molly Hatchet fixed.
I do. But that's at Kings Island, right?
No, that's near Cedar Point there. I think Harley Davidson.
Yeah, Sandusky Harley Davidson.
Now I will say this: if you're planning on going down there and trying to get a room in that, be prepared to pay. This is like one of the busiest weekends in the area.
And be ready for it, Nicole, because Castaway Bay is sold out all weekend.
Yeah,
there you go. I don't know if I go down this weekend, it'll just be for the day on Sunday. But Memorial Day weekend sounds terrible to me. It just sounds like a lot of people. It sounds hot. And
being at Bike Week too, you got to wear the chaps, the leather chaps. Now.
I was in Chicago. I was in Chicago Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't know what the hell day it is, but the International Leatherman contest was going on. So
did you got your chaps?
We met a lot of really lovely people.
Nice.
And yes, so if you're bored and would like to check out what the International Leatherman contest is about, have fun with your Google search.
Yeah, absolutely.
We met some really wonderful, beautiful people. It was awesome. Truly.
Very cool. All right, you guys. That's it. By the way, if you can, if you're watching this, I need you to maybe hit like and share and do all that stuff for us. Tell people about it. Tell a friend. We appreciate that. We love that about you. And if you go to our Facebook page, the Cedar Point Podcast, say hi to Nicole over there. She gets lonely sometimes, so we want to make sure that you.
It's pretty quiet over there this week.
I know.
I haven't been there.
Cedar Point Podcast. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out anywhere you get your podcast, and tell a friend. For Dylan and Michael and our executive producer Nicole and our fill-in executive producer Dave this week. I'm Andrew Z. Thanks, you guys. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.